guys, it's Wendy here with In Focus Prints, and today I am bringing you, I'm behind, but I am bringing you my May One Little Word. And for the month of May, we were supposed to do like a photo expression of our word. So it took me a while to do this, and I will be honest, it took me more than just May. It took me May and June, so I'm still working on my June One Little Word because I wanted to show a substantial change, and I knew I was in the middle of this change, and I wanted to show it completed. So it's not 100% complete, but it is probably 75% complete. And that's where I'm going to start. So the first thing I pulled was the card from Allie's Printables that says, "Trust the wait, embrace the uncertainty, enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible." And that is the way I feel May went. May was a big decision for me. I decided that I was definitely going to list my house for sale. And my one little word for the month is declutter. So I was already in that process of decluttering. And this meant hitting the road running and getting it done so that I could get the house on the market. So this is where my May started. So the first photo I have here is of my office. And I have before pictures. I didn't want to put the befores in here because I wanted it to be about the declutter, what it looks like now. But I'm sure somewhere in here you will see those photos. But this is my office that I work in. And I wanted that to be first because that is something that is very important for me, is to get this up and running, this business that I am starting. So that is my first page. So when we flip over, we're going to add the photos as we go. The next photo that I wanted it to include was my son's office. This is where he works. He's a college student. And it is a room that was downstairs that is an actual office. My office was the old family room. And we don't use the family room for a TV room anymore. And I took over that room as my office. So this is technically the office in the house. And this is his office, which is amazing that it is that clean. And I will say that he has helped me tremendously in getting this house done. He has embraced the declutter with me. So that is that one. The next one was not only my inside of my house decluttered, the outside was also worked on. When I say we, my brother helped me a lot in getting my front yard was the flower beds. Everything was just to the point of overgrown just about. And so he came in and did my yard for me. So I wanted to include that. The next photo is the room above the garage. And in this room, everything has had a new coat of paint. Everything is the same color. And this, for me, was the biggest change. There is very little back on the walls, and you will see that as a theme throughout. This used to be our TV room, and I really wanted a room that did not have a TV, that it was just for if some of my friends came over, we could have a room to sit and talk and be comfortable, but not have to stare at the TV. Just a place that would be comfortable. So when you come up over my garage, which is this little stairwell right here, this is the first thing you see. and it kind of sets the tone that this is a reading room or a sitting room. And then when you look from this direction, this is where this photo was taken. This is the big part of the room. And I have it where I can sit and read if I'm up there by myself. I have a stereo, we can listen to music, and we can sit and talk. And that's very important for me. This room used to have a bookshelf along this wall, and it kind of was a catch-all. It would get everything that we didn't know what to do with, kind of went on that bookshelf, and it stayed cluttered all the time. So I knew, number one, if I left the bookcases, it would be cluttered. There would be no way that it would not be cluttered. Second of all, it made putting furniture in this room absolutely difficult, because it was they were built in and they were just in the wrong location. It just didn't make sense. And to put furniture in here, it just off-centered the whole room. It was just crazy. So my brother ripped those out, got this room painted. So that for me was such a big relief. I think getting that room done was the turning point for me, because I felt like if I could get this big huge room done, I could do anything. So that's where we're at. The next two photographs that I'm going to show you is, this is the room off of my kitchen, and this is in front of the fireplace. This was the technical living room of the house originally, but I felt like we just didn't use that room. And me and my son like to play board games, his girlfriend does, and we like to cook, and we don't always necessarily want to sit in the dining room and eat. We just want to sit down and have a meal together and feel comfortable, and a place that if I need to spread out to work on something, I can do that, or he can sit there and work on his laptop. It's just an all-purpose room for us, and so that is what we made it, is a game room of sorts. So it's wide open. There's nothing there, very minimal stuff on the bookshelves, because I didn't want anything. Originally, this was going to be our games, and I don't want to show that in the photos and for showing purposes of the house to sell it. I wanted to show that it could be a versatile room. And so that's the reason we left it this way. This room was full of furniture, and we have donated and gotten rid of furniture. We have repurposed furniture. We have done all that in this room. So that is one of my favorite rooms right now in the house. The room above the garage is probably my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite. The next is my deck. This poor deck was in such bad shape. I honestly had not noticed how bad it was. I didn't, I really had not paid any attention to this deck. This deck is actually off of my filming room. So if I turn back to here, these doors here go out onto this deck. And I'm in this room all the time, and I never paid any attention. So it was time for me to pay attention to the deck. So my brother redid the deck, and I am so happy for it. It makes a big difference. And I'm hoping to start utilizing that for doing some filming too, is to go out on that deck. So the next photographs are going to be the remainder of, part of the remainder of my upstairs. The first one is my son's bedroom. He was a typical teenager that had clothes everywhere, stuff everywhere. And I am going to be honest, this room has had the biggest transformation to this date. Across the top was a wallpaper border that were sales. from here down was wallpaper that was a pirate ship with the turrets and the men fighting with swords. On the ends was the big crow's nest with the cells around it. We did this room for him when he was 8 or 9 years old, and he is now 22. So he said, Mama, please, can we take the wallpaper down? It's the first time he had asked, and I said, sure. This room was the most difficult, I will say. It's not the biggest transformation, but the most difficult. We had to strip all the wallpaper down and then go back and paint before we could do any decluttering or anything like that. So this room took a lot of work. So I definitely wanted to show that. The next room is his, I say it's his bathroom, but it's the Jack and Jill bathroom that is between, this is this guest bedroom, and then this is his room. And so it's the Jack and Jill bathroom between the two. Again, wallpaper in this room. Oh my gosh, wallpaper everywhere. And so we had to strip all the wallpaper here and go back and paint. I have stripped all the wallpaper downstairs and painted. It has been years since we had to rip any of that down. But we have not really done anything upstairs. So that is the majority of the time that we spent was there. The next room is beside my son's room, but in between my son's room and the room that we have the sitting room. And this is a place for him and his friends to hang out. It's where the TV is. It is where he can play games and that kind of thing. So this is kind of his world upstairs. And this room also has never had a purpose since we've lived here. We pretty much used it for storage. So for us, we moved the movie posters from the sitting room into here. We moved him some chairs in here. We found a rug that I had stored in the garage, and it fit perfect. So everything in this room was recycled. But the biggest change was getting all the stuff that was in this room out of there. It used to be the waiting to go into the attic room. So Christmas trees, Christmas-like ornaments, that kind of stuff would sit in here forever until we decided to get it back into the attic, which is Eve's storage behind these two walls. And the last one is the walking in from my front door to go up the steps and into my house. And the last area that I am going to show you is the first two are, we'll start at my dining room. So this is coming in the front door, and the dining room is immediately adjacent to that. And I got rid of everything on the walls, everything that was, I used to keep tons of knickknacks on these shelving pieces to the side. We have gotten rid of all of that. I have maybe 4 pieces across there, so it doesn't look totally empty. And it's mostly like my Belique porcelain from Ireland and my Waterford crystal from Ireland. That is about all that's in this room. But I really am enjoying this room, and we have not used our dining room in almost 2 years. I was spread out here doing scrapbooking for the first year and a half until I set my office up. So I am so glad to get this room back and get it back into use. The next room is my kitchen. And we had started the declutter in my kitchen, and we had already started going through the cabinets, getting rid of excess stuff that we had, because my husband's family is a huge family, and we hosted every family event at our home. So I had multiple platters, multiple sets of dishes, or not multiple sets, but at least 12 pieces in my everyday dishes, and then I had enough china to sit everybody. And so everything was just packed in my cabinets. And I don't do that anymore. So we have gone through and decluttered everything out of the cabinets. And I am so happy. My cabinet countertops I had so much stuff on my countertops. And I absolutely love the look of my countertops right now. So this is another room that I am so happy with. You'll hear that throughout this whole project. And I think it's because I'm looking at my house now in a different way. It's how somebody else is walking into my house and looking at it. And I think that's why it's so important for me to have gotten it to this point. This is the half bath that is in my hallway where the laundry is. This had little wallpaper dragonflies that were scattered about. It was a lavender paint. It was the only room in this house that the paint color just didn't match anything else. And so everything now has this gray tone with the white trim. And it is just absolutely my favorite room. And you can't tell the towels, but they're gray and a light pink because I am obsessed with pink. And that's the only place that is here and in my master bathroom that I am using the pink tones. And let's see, let me get this back here. And then the last photo is the back of the house. And I just wanted to show where we had cleaned up everything. We used to have a pergola off the back, and it had wisteria. And then on the end, it would have jasmine, and it was beautiful in the spring. And it caused a mess all the time because the blooms would be everywhere, and it was just overgrown. So I am happy with the progress on the back side of my house. The only room I have not shown you guys is my master bedroom. And I thought I had printed those out, and apparently I did not. So I may end up adding one more sheet protector in here that I can go back and add that room. And if I decide to do that, I will show you in the continuation of my June. So the biggest thing for me is this was a hard decision for me. Making the decision that it's time to sell our family home. And it took me a long time to get to this decision. It's been 2 years. And everyone said not to make a decision your first year, to take at least a year when you lose your spouse before you make a decision. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. The thing that I would change is I have made the decision to sell my home. And I second guessed that decision. I knew that's what I needed to do, and I knew I should have done it, and I waited. I wish I had gone ahead and done that earlier. Am I upset I didn't? No. I wish I had, and it would have probably helped me declutter a big part of my life. And that is the hurt of walking into a house that has the memories that this one holds. I think I could have gotten a lot of things out that I was holding internally. And that was part of my decluttering process that I wanted to go through, was to actually get some things out of me that I was holding inside. And the more we worked on the house and the more we did, the more I could let go of, the more things that I let go of, things that I knew I did not need to hold on to anymore. I didn't need my husband's toothbrush. I didn't need his bottle of cologne. I didn't need his razor. I didn't need that stuff, but I was not turning it loose. So this was the avenue for me to do that, because I thought I need to do that. And it was very hard. Once I got through that, it got easier. And I still have the memories, I still have the photos. If it was something that I felt like I needed to take a photo of, I did. And that only declutters a memory card. You know, it's not a room, it's not a drawer. So I'm very happy that I have gotten to this stage. And so for the month of May, I wanted to show how far I have come. And I'm hoping to get even further this year. And I hope to show you not only my decluttering, but this house selling and then moving into a new place and even being more trimmed down, because I'm in a big house now. It's 3,400 square feet, and we are going to move down to about between 15 and 1900 square foot is where we're looking. So it's going to be half of my house. So that decluttering that I have already done is a good starting point, but I'm going to have to do more when I move to my new home. So I will take you along on that process. So declutter will continue through the year. So until next time, guys, hopefully I will be bringing you June in the next week or so, and then I'll get back on track and have everything ready to go for the months as they're here. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. And until next time, bye-bye.